The most terrifying medieval torture devices and their horrors. The Middle Ages were a dark period where justice intertwined with cruelty, and torture became a tool to maintain power and crush dissent. The devices used served a dual purpose: to inflict unbearable pain and to instill fear in those who witnessed the punishments. One of the most feared devices was the torture wheel, a large structure made of wood and iron. Victims were bound to the wheel, and their bones were shattered with heavy clubs. Afterward, the broken body was displayed in public, often left to die slowly from injuries or exposure. As a symbol of summary justice, the wheel embodied the tangible power of punitive authority. Another frightening contraption was the Iron Maiden, a vertical metal coffin lined with sharp spikes. When closed around the victim, the spikes penetrated non-vital areas, ensuring a slow and agonizing death. Its intimidating design struck fear even in the bravest individuals. Drawing and quartering was reserved for traitors. Victims were tied by their limbs to horses or mechanical devices, which pulled until their limbs were torn apart. This brutal punishment was a clear warning to anyone who dared challenge authority. Among the most macabre devices was the witch's chair, covered in sharp metal spikes. Victims, tightly bound to the chair, endured constant pain, sometimes intensified by heated spikes. This device was frequently used against alleged witches during inquisitorial trials. The infamous brazen bull, a hollow bronze statue, was equally terrifying. Victims were locked inside the bull's belly, and a fire was lit beneath it, roasting them alive. Their screams, amplified by the bull's design, mimicked the sounds of a raging animal, creating an atmosphere of absolute horror. Rat torture exploited the natural instincts of animals to inflict extreme suffering. A container of rats was placed on the victim's abdomen and heated. Driven by the heat, the rats burrowed into the victim's body to escape, causing unimaginable pain. Another cruel instrument was the iron boot, which crushed or burned the victim's legs. Filled with boiling water or tightened by iron wedges, it left permanent damage to the lower limbs. Finally, the heretic's fork, a collar with sharp prongs placed between the chin and chest, immobilized victims in a constant state of pain. This device was commonly used to punish heretics, symbolizing their rebellion being literally stifled.